Can't help myself.
Okay. So, discussion only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What if, instead of doing the lump sum, I just include it into your base wages, and there would be, and that would be your base wage, and there'd be no wage increase year 2, and that it would stay the same, and that would equate to just over 4% increase for year 2 at 4.09. Let you think about it. Don't expect any comment back, but I think that that would resolve the whole lump sum issue.
So we would move to 103, and then year 2.
No, for year 1,
Mm-hmm.
you would move to 108,137,
All right.
which includes the $4,250. There'd be no wage increase for year 2 because it would stay, and that would equate to a 4.09% increase for year 2.
Yeah.
So you're getting the 5%
Right.
year 1 plus the 4,250, and then for year 2,
You get nothing.
but you didn't get the lump sum. It was already built in, so you did not lose anything.
Well, yeah, you're saying basically your second year raise is 4%.
4.09.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. I don't think it's gonna go over well, but I will bring it back.
One of the crazy things, and it's not crazy because I'm seeing it more and more, is in the middle of contracts, agencies are coming back because of the competitive market saying, we need to give you a pay raise. Most recently, 2 days ago, City of Atlantic Beach, because JSO, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, just gave an incredible giant pay raise and took these guys off 401ks and put them on FRS. Massive expenditure. And rather than having to go back to the bargaining table every time, is the city at all, would you guys consider that if you were gonna give another law enforcement unit, obviously you would be the rank and file unit, a mid-contract pay raise? Not something that you negotiated in as part of the contract, but an unforeseen pay raise that essentially a Me Too clause that says you give it to the lieutenants too, so we wouldn't even have to go back to the bargaining table.
So the language is definitely on the Matt side, but I believe your statement is, our current 24.5 is recognizing the fact that if we could do it over again, we've
agreed.
said that we would have done exactly what we did.
Agreed. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about gender, because there's speculation the sheriff's
Right.
office is gonna give a massive pay raise.
Yep.
And it will put you guys in a position where you're gonna be saying, hey, we may not be due to negotiate with another unit, but you'll be in a position where you'll hemorrhage bodies so fast. And like I said, I would have thought this was crazy 10 years ago,
Yeah.
but I'm seeing it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I will discuss it with the city manager. I believe, I get the point, but Michelle and I will discuss it, and we will bring it up next week as well.
Okay, and if there's any interest in that, and again, I'm not talking about going, hey, you guys sit at the bargaining table and negotiated the pay raise for another unit for whatever their regular pay raise is. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where mid-contract, there's no openers, and you guys are coming back saying, we need to give a pay raise because we've got to stay competitive. That's the situation.
Yep. I understand it completely, and I believe I have an example I can share with Carly on, we can go and find some language, or if you have language that you would like to present regarding the Me Too.
And I will if there's interest.
Yep.
From the city
So
side.
I guess the best thing you can do is if you could get it sent to Carly.
Okay.
Then, again, when we sit down with the city manager or with council, then, there's language that we can say, hey, here is a proposal from PBA. And again, we would want to incorporate that, obviously, into the IUPA contract as well.
Yeah, well, if you come offer us raises and not them, I think you'll need to do that. I would be very surprised if you came to
Absolutely.
lieutenants and skipped the rank and file. That would
So-
surprise me.
Yep. But anyway, that's Article 24. Then I did not previously provide the next group.
Okay?
Okay. Article 14, grievance procedure. Again, this is just kind of keeping in line with the other articles so that we're consistent. First thing that I noticed before I came in here, the first full line of strike through, I used my pen and crossed out the word no. I don't know where that came from, but it's a ghost, so that no was not meant to be there. So just striking all of that and just adding disciplinary actions of written reprimands and below are not subject to grievance.
Let me tell you, my two problems, one of them might be something that I don't think you guys have a problem with, and the other one, I don't know whether the sides will overcome. One, if you don't want to call it subject to grievance, then don't call it discipline. A lot of places will call a written reprimand, they'll define it as this is not discipline. And that solves that, but the other one that I don't think you guys will have heartache over is whether we call a written reprimand discipline or not, say it's not subject to arbitration, let them grieve it. You know, if you get a piece of paper saying, hey, you did wrong and you don't agree with it, at least let them make their pitch to the chief and maybe city manager, knowing that you can't go to arbitration on it, but at least they get to make their pitch to say why I didn't deserve it. Mm-hmm. And obviously that doesn't cost money like an arbitration. And I will tell you that I've been doing this, 11 years now? I'm the only attorney from the PBA that I know of that ever took a written reprimand to arbitration. And I will tell you that arbitrators, there's no way in hell an arbitrator is going to overturn a written reprimand. Anyway, so you wouldn't see me taking a written reprimand to arbitration because, one, they go, it didn't take any money out of the person's pocket, so no. Now, the only exception to that rule is if it would keep somebody from being eligible to get a promotion. There was one agency where a supervisor that was dealing with a different set, he wanted his guys promoted, so he was writing all the officers up that weren't even under his supervision because a written reprimand made you ineligible for the promotion process. But two, an arbitrator is never going to rule for a union on a written reprimand anyway, because the bottom line is they go, gee, if I grant this grievance, that poor union guy is going to be stuck with everybody getting a piece of paper saying, I want to go to arbitration. It doesn't happen.
Right. So how would you rewrite that sentence?
I think I got the intent. I can give you that. In fact, I think that lines up with what we're doing. I know exactly what you're saying. That was really the avoidance that we're looking for. If you look at IUPA, it's actually taken out. Same thing. Like they don't take the arbitration, but I still think you may do what you're saying. Like you still
Up
get a
to
chance to go,
step
hey,
3.
Yeah.
this isn't right.
That's
I
what
need to
it's
take it up.
working
Do a grievance up to. So let me.
The only language that you can say is that written reprimands and below are not formal discipline and are not subject to arbitration.
Yep.
In theory, you can still grieve it, but again, makes it clear that they're not formal and therefore they're not subject to arbitration.
I'll get you that back. Exactly.
3 is the CM, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 is captain, 2 is you, 3 is the CM. So yeah, if you just wrote, you can only take it to step 3, then it wouldn't be subject to arbitration,
Yep.
which is kind of what was in there before.
Okay.
Thank you. And then Article 20, association representatives and activities. 20.2, just kind of a clarifying the language, that it would just be no employee shall engage in association business of any kind. So it's just
If you don't have a problem, Greg, I'm perfectly happy with signing that.
It's just,
more clear and concise language, same meaning. Yeah.
And I'm not providing these, I just wanted to make you aware that we're still working on them, we've discussed them. Article 15, holidays, still working on rewriting of section 15.3 and 15.4. So the next meeting will come back with what we feel satisfied the concerns that you had at the last meeting. Article 25, we definitely know we're working on it. So that will be discussed next week with council in the shade. And then Article 35, duration of agreement, that we are, looking for a 2-year agreement so that it lines up with IUPA. And, I know that y'all also told us at the last meeting that, would we be inclined to, listen to a year 2 wage proposal. I know we just kind of just stated one. So if y'all do have anything that y'all were wanting to present to us, I think that that would go very well as we go into our meeting next week. So do y'all have any proposals for us at this time?
We don't, and it's gonna be hard for me to give you one until we know what's going on with the retirement.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. They would like to get another break.
Just a real quick break.
Sure,
2
cool.
minutes. Thank you.
He stopped.
She stepped it, yep.